There's this line from one of the episodes of The Wire when it's Lieutenant Daniels and his wife are having dinner, and she says to him, "The game is rigged, but you cannot lose if you do not play." After this video, at some point, I'm gonna link that. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube as some kind of sound bite. It's very interesting because that's what this matrix is. There's people that are in position that don't deserve to be in position. People that are in dominant roles, dominating, these psychopaths, energy vampires, narcissists. They'll be your supervisors, your bosses at work, in charge of where people, decide where people get to live. Law enforcement, police officers, undercover agents following people around who belong to some narcissist matrices. So they'll be told to, keep tabs on you forcefully. So you got gang stalkers in your neighborhood. You got gang stalkers as neighbors. You have police gang stalking you, making sure when you just slip up, they'll be there to put the cuffs on. Why I put that quote from The Wire, why I put that there is because I think in one of my last videos I was talking about I was on a job and one of the more senior colleagues of mine was showing all these other members of staff or my other colleagues, he was teaching them this technique or a different task, which was like a bit more of a more technical task. But in this industry, in this sort of industrial industry, it's like you have to be shown things the first few times before you're competent and you're able to become skilled and you can now carry out those tasks alone without supervision. But if you're new to the industry, which a lot of us are, they just had a big intake of us due to this big contract. A lot of us would need supervision. So when I was up on a ladder, I was away from them. He started showing them this different part. He kept saying, "Are you all right?" Yeah. Knowing that obviously I was all right at what I was doing, but I was not all right at the fact that he was showing them something that he should have been not showing. He should have been showing all of us. But this is one thing these people do. They want to use opportunity to devalue us, want to use opportunity to put people above us. So in the future, when they say, "Oh, who can do this?" and they will say, "Oh, anyone can do it," and "Oh, you haven't done it yet, so you can't do it. This person can go and do it because I've showed them." Like there was a time when we were on a separate job, and that same guy was there, and there was two tasks to do. There was an easy task and a difficult task, and I purposely said I wanted to do the difficult task, and even of the difficult task, he gave me the smaller part of the task and gave somebody else a more difficult task. And then when it came to switch on the machinery that we had all done, only my one was correct, everybody else's was wrong. Everyone had to go up the ladder and rectify their errors, whereas mine was the only correct one. I'm not saying that to blow my own trumpet, but the people that he's putting above me or furthering me or trying to train are people who don't have the background, experience, expertise that I do, but they want to keep us behind or keep us following by trying to delay our training. Now, the similar thing happened with a different supervisor on a different site. And on this site, we were working at nighttime because it's a very busy area. We can't do it in the daytime because it's too busy. So we had to go and do this install at nighttime. And I was talking to 2 or 3 of my colleagues, but their experience, they've been doing the job for like 10 years, 12 years. And I was saying, "Oh, look, I'm ready to try this different part of the role or different part of the task, which is like a more technical part, more thinking, more kind of like understanding schematics, drawings, measurements, voltages, etc." And they were like, "No, you're not ready to do that task. You've got to do A, B, C, D first." And I started explaining that task to them from my point of view, to show them my understanding of the task. And the reason why I have an understanding is because we were sent away on a course to learn that task. And there was the guy that I started with who he knows someone who already is at the firm. Now, they were like, "Oh, look, this guy, the other guy that I started on the same day, he's done 2 inputs or 3 inputs and 4 cables we started you off on one input and one cable. He's now doing three inputs and two cables. So he's doing a more complex version of what I'm doing. But what he's doing is exactly the same, just has more things added. But in life, we're not all equal. Even if they add 10 more inputs, because I have a basic understanding, I'll be able to still match up and make the thing work and do it correctly. But because they've doctored it, so they've had him on the site longer. There were days when I was working days, he was on the different sites with them. So he's seen more of the task than I have because he has got a friend working for the firm. He's further ahead in his training. Now there's even people that that I know that haven't done what he's done. So it's not just a question of just me saying, oh, ego thing where why haven't they shown me? They've been specifically showing him favoritism because he has a friend who brought him to that firm. Now, in the future, it just makes him more a valuable asset to the business because he's got more skills, more knowledge and expertise in that chosen field. So they hold you back purposely, and then they try to push forward these other kind of energy vampires. So they're all like a group. And if anything happens, they'll be like, oh, who knows what to do? Or, oh, I've shown this person A, B, C, but this other person can only do A, B. So we can afford to not have him on site, or we can afford to maybe stop his contract or not renew his contract and keep this other person who may be less experienced, less aptitude, but because he knows someone in the firm, he's now being pushed to do all these different training and giving him more experience. Yes, I just wanted to touch on this. This is the techniques that they use, because even when one of the other colleagues was trying to show me one part, he was stood over me and he was explaining something to me, and I was watching him watch me. So even though it's a slightly different sector for me, my handwork and the skills that I have, my ambidextrous skills, is something that I've gained over my working experience in this field. So he was watching me and he was kind of like trying to learn from me, but directing me. So he had the manuals and the sheets and the drawings, and he was telling me, oh, this goes there, this goes there. But secretly, he was literally just watching everything that I did, how my hands was moving, how they were all in sync, how there was the sequence to how I worked. And it just reminded me, man, it's like these characters is all about like rank and who's high, who's low. I must direct you. If you make any mistake, I'll be the one to put you in your place. I would tell you when you are wrong. But secretly, they're admiring us. They're jealous of us. They're watching our skills. They secretly want to take from us, learn from us, but not give us the credit for our work. It's very, very sick. You know, maybe when I never experienced narc abuse, I didn't know that there was people on this planet that existed who behave like this. So low down, dirty dogs. Yeah. I worked in an office once when I was working next to somebody, and that contract ended because we spoke about him being taken on to the job full time and the rest of us wasn't. And because of that, the people that were there were like, this Friday you leave. Now that guy was staying on, but that guy was literally copying all my work. He was literally watching all my shortcuts, watching everything that I was doing, watching all the way that I set up all these system softwares and everything in that job. And this was like maybe 15 years ago. So I don't know these people existed then, but they're everywhere. These people, they're here to steal, kill, and destroy, like their father, Lucy. And they're here to literally take your talents and use it, cheat you out of it, and use it against you. We have to do like so many of these courses and tests to become qualified, and you build up a portfolio. And all the tests and courses that we go to, the guy who has a friend who works there, he seems to be flying through. And I'm just wondering to myself, in the actual learning and the lecturer is giving us the information, he looks so puzzled. He asks these questions that seem so basic, and they're like questions that he should understand already, given the background he claims he has, but he doesn't know. But then when it comes to the exams, he just gets like top marks. So I'm pretty sure the other guy, either they cheat or he sends him the course beforehand so he can revise far in advance so he passes through. Because you should see how his face looks so confused and the questions he asks are so elementary, yet when the test comes, he gets top marks. So that just tells you the game is rigged. They're cheaters, they're scoundrels, liars, deniers. They breadcrumb us, they stonewall us. That's what they do. So you can't respond, block you before you can start defending yourself. Give you an answer. Oh, you can't do this because this person's been here for longer than you. We've trained him. He's got the skill and know-how you haven't. So you have to wait until we've got time to train you and then you can do it. But for now, it has to be this guy. We've got him on more inputs. We've got him on more cable to wire. You know, he knows the techniques. So that's how they will play it. Yeah, man. They don't want us to shine. And then secretly there'll be someone standing next to you just like, oh, what is this? What is that? Oh, I've not seen. That's quite a clever way to terminate. That's quite a clever way to strip. That's quite a clever way to hold your tools. That's quite a clever way to undo that and do that. And they're just watching. And my boss actually was the one who put me on this new site that I'm on. We were in a meeting and he was like, oh, take me. He pointed at me like, oh, are you? Yeah, take him. I want him to go. So sometimes there's someone that's on our corner, but it's very, very rare that we get the opportunity. If not for this, I would be still doing what I was doing before. I would not have a chance to see the actual nitty gritty and understand it from a real life situation, not from being inside a rig, inside a warehouse or stores, but on, in the real world, on a real site. So that was very, very helpful because this is what the thing is. A lot of people, and they end up getting more experience, more opportunities, and they rise high up the ranks, and then they turn into your boss. Next thing you know, it'll be a narc or a energy vampire in a supervised position. They get you to do all the work and take all the credit. Yeah, man. That's how they behave. One task I remember when I was on the site, we had finished doing the install, but you had to jump down into this like a confined space, a duct in the floor, in the ground, on the street, and pull out something. And he was like, "Oh, God, you go and do it." This is what the supervisor said to me. And I was like, all right, cool. But then there was a guy that was more senior to me. He was like, no, let me go, because it was like such a small, confined space in the ground. But I was like, whatever. The man wants me to go down there, I'll go down there. They tell me to climb up the thing, I'll climb it. Like, whatever. Like, I'm up for it. But they want us to just like bow out. And then if you say, oh, no, I can't, then the word will go back to the office. Oh, we asked him to do this and he couldn't. He wasn't up for it. Everything is rigged. Everything. The Matrix is just a fake program. It's a simulation that we're in. And you can go up, you play the game and you can go up or you can go back. Even this like gang stalking from the police and all that, it's all part of it. It's like you're like a glitch. You are a glitch. You're against the system. You're become a threat to the society, to the way the game is supposed to be played. Like robot slaves. The amount of CCTV cameras that are going up all the time, watching us 24 hours, and nobody complains. Everyone just continues going about their robotic lives. Today in the gym, I was doing some exercise next to some guy. He was there. I moved to another section of the gym to use a different piece of equipment. He comes up to me as soon as I have just got there. He's like, oh, how many sets you got left? I goes, oh, I just got here. Then he paused. He's like, oh, can we share? I goes, what weight are you using? If you're using the same weight, yeah, why not? Then he's like, oh, okay, I'll just wait. And then he went and sat down next to me and I was doing it. And then he just came up and put his weight on top of my weight, did his exercise. Like, oh, he changed his mind. So now he wants to share while I was resting. I was resting, so whatever. And then when he finished, he took the weight back off. So it was back to the weight I was doing. So I did my weight for like two sets. And then when he took his weight off, I put his weight back on and did the weight he was doing, but I did it in the perfect form to show him that, because sometimes like they're trying to like show dominance, and his form was so bad the weight was too heavy. But I did the weight he was attempting, and I did it on a better form than him. He got up and he left. It's just to put us down, man, to show us, oh, well, I'm the big man. I did the weight he was doing, the big weight, and I did it in the perfect form, slow and controlled, better than him. And then it just to show him that he's not stronger than me in those weights in that particular muscle group. That I'm doing this lower muscle weights by choice. Yeah, you choose to either do big or weight or small weight, save your joints, work effectively and smart. You don't have to kill yourself on every single machine. I did his way better than him. He saw me doing it and he got up and he left. He just came there to get some sort of reaction from me to sort of dominate or out alpha me, and I just was so calm, stoic. Showed him. Then after that, when I finished, I just got up there and I walked out. Left the gym feeling good, feeling refreshed. They want reaction. They want us to feel down, less than. They want us to just stumble every single trap, every snare, not knowing that actually we got the Most High God on our side anyway. So we're protected, we're blessed, we're favored. Even if the most bad thing will happen to us, it will end up being all right. So we have to rest in that knowledge. We have to just, welcome ourselves to just like chill out. Yeah. Man. Years ago, I would not have known what these people are, these bloodsuckers, these little energy vampires. The police are narcissists, man. Most of them, they're little enablers. They're flying monkeys. They want you to do bad. Rather than going into schools and telling kids not to pick up knives and trying to people to prevent crime and I don't know, just like talks and stuff. They're out here trying to trick people into making mistakes. And also there's people that are doing dodgy stuff on the street every day. You don't see them going to arrest them. But if you're like a bit more clever about things, they want you to stumble, they want you to fumble, they want you to fall into their traps. Unmarked cars following you around. Yeah. You go out, you come back, there's a car right outside your flat, with the lights off, someone sat in there. After you're in there for a number of time, the car drives off. It's not a cab, it's not nothing. It's got to be boredom. People who live around you. The curtains all shuffling here and there. Man, we live in this software is weird, man. Rather than people coming together and fighting against the system, trying to get a better standard of living for everyone. You have these people working with the system, trying to take people down. And what I'm doing, I'm actually adding to society, the work that I do, it actually helps the infrastructure, the smooth running of this city. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes in the past and I'm sure I will in the future. That's what it is being human. It's just trying to do better day by day and get better, stay on my healing journey. But there are these people who are sadists. They want us to make mistakes. They want to laugh at us and take joy out of our errors. And they haven't even worked on themselves yet. The guy in the gym, I just gave him nothing. He just got up and he just left. Can we share? He saw me come onto the machine straight away. He wanted to come and challenge me. Yeah, they're always there. You go to the locker. I said this before. It happened again. You go to the locker. There's a whole row of lockers that are free. And maybe the locker that you're using is next to the one where they've got their stuff next to your locker. So they come and they stand right behind your back. So you turn around and they're in your face. They could stand on the side, so you see your periphery, you see them, and then you know they're there. Or they can stand a bit back, which is what I do. If I come to the locker area and someone is next to my locker, I stand back and wait for them to finish, or let them at least turn around calmly. Then I go. They will stand right behind your head like this. You turn around, there will be somebody like that, just to get a reaction out of you. The gym is full of negative people. It's full of narcissists. They're working on their body. They literally have no souls. They're empty. That's why they say the word meat suits. They're meat suits. They're shapeshifters. They're not real humans. They got no souls, man. No light. The two people that I talking about in the gym, there's like no light in there. There's no light here, no light, nothing. There's like the lights are on, but no one's home. Like that's like the majority of people that's outside now. Dr. Ramini, the narcissist doctor, she's on a podcast, The Diary of a CEO, and the cover, I can't remember what you call it, the YouTube page says 1 in 6 are narcissists. That's wrong, man. 1 in 2 are narcissists. Seriously. It's 50-50, man. It's like every other person's a narc. All them people that are in my work I'm talking about, they're all narcs. So like me, oh, what can I do? Oh, what about me? What about me? What about me? Let me get a reaction at him. Let me get a reaction at him. Oh my God, he thinks he's too good. He thinks he's too good. It's all ego, ego, ego. Social media is to blame for some of this, but a lot of it is just trauma. It's just from childhood shit. Childhood stuff, sorry. Yeah, man. People are not healing. People are not doing the inner work, the shadow work, or the confronting their own stuff. They're just going along the status quo. Anyway, it's been too long. I've been going on, so let me just cut the video there. See you on the next one. Peace.